Cool. All right, guys, this is a really exciting webinar. You guys chose this last week, and this is a really incredibly powerful, exciting topic. I know that when I first started out, I struggled with scaling my business, and so this is, I'm going to give you step by step exactly how I scaled my business, even daily tasks. So you can walk away from this webinar and start setting up your PPL business without, so much second guessing and so many questions. And I'm going to give you a roadmap of how I did it and how you can do it as well. And you can reach this number, the magic number, 50K a month, in under 6 months with just 1 hour a day. And the 1 hour a day part is really important because a lot of us, a lot of people on the Webby have jobs, or you guys are starting from a place with a job like I did, and so you really have to manage your time smartly and well and make the most of it. So 1 hour a day, that seems like, I know it seems a little pitchy, a little salesy, but you can do a lot in 1 hour if you're focused and you have a plan. So what can you do with 180 hours? Out of 6 months is 180 days, roundabout. 180 days, 1 hour a day, 180 hours. That is so much time to do something. Really, it's really incredible. 180 hours is more than 1 month of solid work at your job, and you can do 1 hour a day before work. When I was working, I usually did it before work. I would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and work my business, and then I would go to work for the day, and then sometimes work my business in the evening. So it is a commitment, but it is absolutely worth it. So I hope that you guys can all dedicate at least 1 hour a day. I know you can. You really can. And I'm going to give you the roadmap so you know exactly what to be focusing on each day. And then even if you do 60% of the roadmap for the first month, you're going to have job replacing income. So let's dive into it. So 50K, 6 months, 1 hour a day. That seems, it might be a little far for some people to imagine, but it's really not. It's just repeating the things that work over and over again. And so I'm going to cover 3 different topics in this Webby. It's going to be the 3 major pitfalls to avoid while scaling your PPL business. So a lot of you are probably already falling into this trap, not knowing what vertical to go after. Your time is scattered. You don't really know where to focus your time. You don't know what to target, you just need some direction. And that's what I needed too. When I first started out, I made so many mistakes and did things that really set me back. And so I really want to help you guys avoid doing that. And, the more direct your path is, the faster you can get there. So and then the next one, the top 6 things to focus on is set yourself up for success. So there was 6 things that I did almost every day that set myself up for success, and they were so important in keeping me focused and keeping me motivated, because I am so guilty of this. I start out really strong, and then I kind of taper off as my motivation and everything kind of waxes and wanes. But these 6 things that I did, they really, really helped, and they held me accountable and gave me the motivation I needed to push through the days that I didn't feel like doing something, or the days when I doubted myself, or I thought I was, didn't know if I could really do it or not. So these are really, really important, and I'm sure you can add, 10 more things on top of it, but these are the things that I try to do every day or every week, and just to push myself forward. And then last but not least, the daily checklist to get shit done. And this is so much simpler than you guys even know. It's really, really, I break it down day by day. I'm going to give you my calendar. I have it on a Google Calendar, but I'll just take a screenshot of it, and you guys can replicate it on your own Google Calendar, set up alerts for yourself, and just get started, and no excuses. So, all right, here we go. 3 major pitfalls. I bet you guys can kind of guess what some of them are. You might even be experiencing some of these. So the first one that I had the most problems with was not focusing on one vertical starting out. I saw opportunity everywhere that I looked, and I saw opportunity in every vertical, even if it was a low-paying, high volume vertical, I saw opportunity there, which there is. There's opportunity in every vertical. The problem that I fell into was I went after like 10 different verticals starting out before I even had systems down. So if you do this, you can spread out your time, your focus. It's so important to be knowledgeable in a vertical that you're going after and be able to speak their language, know their vocabulary, know what their pain points are. If you spread yourself out over 10 different verticals, there's no way you can focus on focus on one or be an expert in one of them. So this was definitely a point where when I was first starting out, I struggled with. So I definitely recommend starting with one vertical, becoming the expert in that vertical, and then you can scale it a lot faster than if you're focused on 10 different verticals and, trying to be the jack of all trades. Be the jack of all trades. Don't do that. Be the master of one. So the other pitfall was building out more, and the 5 sites is kind of just a rule of thumb that I use. Maybe you're more comfortable with more sites or less sites. Maybe 3 is your magic number. Excuse me, just one second. Okay, I'm going to get a drink of water. So building out 5 sites at a time and then getting partners for those sites, that really can start building momentum for you. So and that's always the chicken and the egg answer, partners first versus site building. So I've done both of these, and I know that a lot of these questions come up in the group. So partners first or site building first. And it does depend. It depends your skill, your SEO skills, your technical skills, or if you have money to hire somebody to build the sites for you that you trust and you know can perform. If you have an AdWords budget, if you're a great salesperson and you have a marketing budget or AdWords budget, by all means, go out, get your partners first, set up your ads, hire someone to set up your ads, and then also have them start building out sites and getting your Google Map listings for you. But it just depends on your skill set and what you're more comfortable with. But if you're starting out with a low budget, like I did, I started out with a $500 budget when I started my business. And so I leveraged that $500 into buying domains, hosting, buying PBNs, and hiring a VA. And so that's exactly how I started out. And I also did, after I did get established and I had 15, 20 sites, then I did start getting partners first, but I also had, at that point, had a marketing budget for AdWords, or I also had VAs that could build sites out very quickly in the vertical that I was targeting because I stuck into one vertical in the beginning. So if you start building out, 5, 10, 15 sites, that's amazing. That'll be great. And then if you want to go that route, that's fine. Just make sure you have a budget for that, and you don't get too lost in just the site building and the technical part of it, because a lot of us SEOs, we don't like to go the sales route, and so maybe we'll put off going and getting partners and mastering our sales skills just to focus on building sites, because that's where we're comfortable, that's where we like to be, and it's hard to push yourself and get out of your comfort zone and start learning sales if you are an SEO, or if you've never done sales before and you much rather like putting together sites and stuff. So it's so important to have kind of a limit of sites, because as a business owner you need to be a salesperson no matter what. You have to also be very good at sales. You have to be good at representing yourself, because as you grow you're going to run into other business owners at different levels, higher level business owners that have been doing this for a long time, and if you don't have the confidence and the experience, and if you haven't crashed and burned a few times and have that kind of confidence behind you as a salesperson, as you're speaking to higher level business owners, they're going to see that immediately. So if you want to go site building first, which I know there's tons of amazing SEOs in this group, that's fine. Go out, build your sites. Just have a stopping point where you have to push yourself to where you're going to go out and get your partners and make those sales. So chicken or the egg. It's up to you. But that's my take on it, and that's exactly what I did. And then the third one that I also ran into was spreading yourself too thin too fast. So we all see, once again, the huge opportunity available to us, and it's so easy to get distracted and to, think that you can overthink it, okay, and say, I'm going to build 30 sites in a month, and I'm going to get 30 partners in 2 weeks. I've done 18 partners in 1 month, and I know that was brought up in one of my past webbies, and that almost burnt me out. So there is no reason or no need to go get that many partners or prospect that hard. All you need is 3 to 5 partners, 3 to 5 sites, and you're golden. So pace yourself, make sure that you meet your goals, and I know it's exciting, but you can push yourself, but you don't need to burn out. You don't need, we all grind away. We all have our, if you have a job, a full-time job, it can get really intimidating if you think that you need to go out and get 18 partners in 1 month, or even 10 partners in a month is a lot. So, especially if you don't have your systems down. So definitely keep that in mind. You need to make calculated moves. So those are the major pitfalls that I encountered. So let's talk about the positive things to focus on and how to keep yourself motivated and focused. So what I like to do is make a 3-month plan. I know that this said for 6 months, but I like to make a 3-month plan, and then break your goals down for each month, and make sure, successively, like one after the other, so that you do meet your 3-month plan, and then have that tie into your final 6-month plan. But 6 months is so far out there, and so much can change and shift in 6 months. I do like to break it down into a 3-month plan, and then break that down month by month, and then even week by week and day by day. So the calendar that I'm going to share with everybody, and this will be posted in the back in the members area of PPL Army. But I break it down into daily goals that, feed into the weekly goals, and then feed into the month, and then the 3-month plan and the 6-month plan. And all it is it's just repeatable. It's a daily, weekly, monthly repeatable process. There's nothing too exciting about it, but I hope that it can give some clarity to everyone on the Webby, and help give you some direction and know where you should be focusing your energy each week. And any feedback is more than welcome. This is what worked for me, but I've learned so much from the group and so much from everybody that I would love to edit it or make it more efficient for the Army members, if you do have some really good feedback and insights into it. And this kind of feeds into the second point. Schedule your time and map out exactly what you need to accomplish each day, so that you hit your goals. So I like to use my Google Calendar, and I have alerts on my calendar for every day and what I need to accomplish each and every day, and every week. And I set myself reminders, I set alerts. I pretty much live in my Google Calendar. I have all of my meetings scheduled in there. It's really good you have to be organized. If you're going into business, if any part, business, life, anything, you have to be organized. So make sure that you put it into your schedule. And if you map out exactly what you need to do every day, it's a lot less intimidating. So also, Mr. Darren Perky, the past general, he did an amazing video, and I think it was last December or November, and he reviewed how he goal sets and how he reverse engineers everything. And I watched that video probably 10 times, and I took so much information from it and put it into action. So I will try to find that, or it's it's probably in the members area as well. I know that he posted it directly in the Facebook group, so you could probably search his name and find that video. And I'll try to bump it up at the after we get off of this webby. But I highly recommend going. It's very inspirational. He does a great job of breaking it down. So shout out to Darren. Definitely, I will find that video again and share it with everybody. All right, the third point. So how many of you in the group want to take action and haven't taken action? And you don't know why? Like maybe it's just intimidating, maybe it's too much information. Let's see, who knows what they should, or who knows they should be taking action that isn't? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, okay, there we go. Yep, lots of you. All right, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's a little intimidating if you don't have a roadmap. So what I do, and I have this, I'll take a picture of my desk, and I have this on the wall above my computer, and this is what helps motivate me. It has to be an emotional reason. So if it's not emotional, if it doesn't really strike a chord with you, you're not going to do anything. It's not going to motivate you. It's not going to keep you motivated. So write down several reasons why you're doing this that are emotional. I would review these every day. I have a notebook that I keep of this, and it's kind of like a journal. And so I just go through and review where I started, where I'm going, what goals I want to accomplish, maybe something that I wasn't able to do in the past that I can do now. Maybe you couldn't take time off from your job to spend with your family, and that could be a very motivating factor, just to spend more time with your family. Be in control of your time, be in control of your money. That you can see my reasons up there. These are probably some of the more emotional ones, and you can see why they motivated me and pushed me forward. So anyways, take some time out of your day when you're planning out your months and your goals, and make sure that you include these and just keep track of them, because they're going to change over the next couple months. It's always good to reflect back on them and see, what was really pushing you forward then, and then as they kind of morphed and changed and, you added onto it, definitely, this is such an important task, or something to do just to help drive you forward. Review it every morning, or as much as possible. It absolutely helps, and it reminds you why you're pushing so hard, why you're staying up late, why you're getting up early. So highly recommend it. And then the last point 4, get an accountability partner. So I know that we post a lot of questions in the group, or everyone posts, questions, and we have such an amazing active group that, I'm so impressed with people every single day, the action that they're taking. But to get an accountability partner, whether it's someone from the group, someone from your family, we can start doing, accountability Sunday, Monday, something like that. And then, by the end of the week, we can say if we hit our goals or not. But just to get your goals out there and kind of assign a date to it and a timeline to it, it definitely will give you accountability. It'll push you forward, and it'll make you think about it more because you put it out there and people are aware of it. And then it also inspires other people. So, that's why we're all in this group, is to inspire each other and learn from each other. So I think that this is so important. It's a critical part of our group and of your success for your business. So it would be great, and I can lead this, and Brian can lead this, kind of doing an accountability shout-out day or something like that, and see if we did hit our goals, or, what roadblocks we ran into or not. But it would also be great if maybe the end of this month, I know that we're already halfway through it, we can start kind of going through the daily agenda that I put out or the schedule, and we can all go through it together and just kind of see what comes up and how successful people are. Because I know that if you put it to work, it's going to be amazing. It'll um, definitely give you a direction and a focus. So the fifth point, leverage your time, get a VA. So if you have a full-time job, you need some extra help because this is going to be some work. And once you have trained a VA, it's definitely going to cut down on a lot of your time. So, or your time spent building sites. Because truthfully, as a business owner, you don't need to be doing the technical side of things. As you get bigger and bigger, you're going to have to start managing your clients, managing the calls, managing the sites. You're going to get pushed further and further away from the technical side of it, and that's fine. Go through and build 2 or 3 sites, get that build down, and I've started just cloning my sites, which saves a ton of time, and my VAs do it incredibly well. Just make sure you have your template built out how you want it to. Make sure that those sites are performing really well, and then you can just clone them. And it speeds up the site builds so much. Like I know that people argue about duplicate content, original content, whatever, but in local SEO, there's really no such thing as duplicate content because you're changing the city and the suburbs and the focus of each site, even if it is in the same vertical. So you have to leverage a VA. I get my VAs from Craigslist Philippines or onlinejobs.ph, I think is the website. But I can post those references for you guys after the call. Anyways, so get a VA, interview some people. I'm sure that a lot of you already manage people in your day-to-day jobs or day-to-day life, so why not put someone to work for you for, $3-4 an hour and just even have them work part-time. They don't even have to work full-time. They don't need to work full-time to start building out several sites a week for you. But those are all your assets, and, it's pretty cool to go to bed at night knowing that someone's building sites up for you, wake up in the morning, and you've had a lot of work done already. So anyways, I highly recommend it. If anyone has questions about kind of a resume or like a post you can post on Craigslist to hire a VA, or what to look for in a really good resume, or kind of the small tasks that I give a VA to see if they can follow directions, to see what their technical skills are. We can definitely go over that in maybe the Q&A or even next week. And I'm more than happy to provide kind of a checklist for that, or even we can just have a discussion and see what other people's experience has been with VAs. My overall experience has been very positive. I've worked with probably about 18 different VAs, or 17 different VAs, and really, if after the first few you realize what you need to train them on, what you need to teach them, how to kind of direct them, and it's definitely a learning experience for you, but it's absolutely worth it just to leverage your time and your skills. So we can definitely have a discussion about that in the group, and if people are interested in that, we can talk about it more next week. And the sixth point, so make your process a well-oiled machine before you scale it up. So guys, there's no point in going out and getting, you can blow it out of the water, that's awesome, but if you don't have a machine that you've created that's sustainable, you're going to have a lot of problems and a lot of headaches. So make sure that your first couple sites, your first couple partners, you run into all the bumps. Because if you have 5 different partners with 5 different problems that you don't know how to handle, it's better than 30 different partners with 30 different problems. So, and we can also have discussions about how to handle these in the group. All of you are really amazing about discussing and asking questions and stuff. So definitely make sure that you kind of have a system, kind of have a process laid out, because you're kind of juggling a few different balls. So you're going to be managing your partners and your VAs. You're going to be training them. I always make my best VA the project manager, so that takes the stress off of me. And it's usually a virtual assistant that I've had for quite a long time, and I trust them, and I know that they do a really good job. So, anyways, I highly recommend make sure that you have your systems at least mapped out, and that at least you have a foundation that you can start building off of in the beginning, and then you'll definitely have less headaches later on. So, all right, let's get into the fun part. The daily checklist, get shit done. All right, so I like to work in 2-week cycles. And the reason for this is when you're doing it all yourself, it's going to help you juggle all the different tasks in the beginning before you have help, before you start hiring people and building sites and everything. So work in 2-week cycles. First 2 weeks, I would do building sites. I would build out my 5 sites in the first 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks are prospecting for those sites. And then you can just keep this cycle going and rotate off and on, and then as you build your first sites in the first 2 weeks, by the time you get prospects signed up and on those sites, they should be ranking, fairly well in the 3rd and 4th week after you have the prospects on the site, so they won't have to wait too long. And then by that time, you're already on to your next cycle. Start building those sites out then, and then go ahead and start, prospecting for those sites. This way, it's not too overwhelming, and it's very manageable for one person to do. And then you can also, start training your VA to develop your second cycle of sites. So, and then the daily checklist calendar, I will be sharing that with everybody. Oh, yep, hold on, there's a question. What would be an example of what you end up doing a day in? Yep, I'm going to share that with you. I have a calendar that I will share in just 1 second, and we like to keep it simple. So daily checklist calendar, create your machine, and then rinse and repeat and scale. So let's just check it out. Just 1 second. All right, can everyone see my screen okay? And this will also be shared. Also share this in the back of, or in the members area of the Army. Cool. All right, just let me check and make sure that everyone can see. All right, great. Okay, guys, so if you want to start, you can start this cycle whenever you want. You can start it on whatever day you want. I just started this on Monday just to have an easy breakdown. You can see every day has a different task, and this is for creating 5 months in one, or 5 sites in 1 month, and then 5 partners in the same month. So here's the 2-week cycle. First day, by domain, same vertical, get your WordPress set up, and the whole week dedicate to building out, the perfect WordPress template with optimized content. The content creation is going to take you the most time, and that's why I recommend staying in one vertical for quite a while until you can just kind of dominate that vertical, then move on to a new one. But the content can take a while to create, so if you're going to invest that time, you might as well leverage it and use it for other sites that you're creating. So I hope that makes sense. So let's say that Saturday, finalize site design, and then start cloning your site. And maybe you need to do, maybe this first month you're going to do all the work, but please, please, please get a VA for the second month. There's no reason that you should be doing this after the first month. All you're doing is cloning a site, going in, updating the content with the new city and city suburbs, and then maybe editing a little bit of the content, but not much. Just go through each page, and I'm more than happy to do, a video covering how I go and set up my on-site content, on-site optimization for my websites, so we can also cover that if you guys have questions about it. I know that General Perky also, or Darren, he did a great overview of how to set up a very clean, optimized site with silos and everything, and that's also in the members area of the PPL Army. Excuse me, drinking some water. So I can definitely bump that up, or just go ahead and check. I'll find it in the members area and share it with the group again, because it's a great overview, and I learned a lot from that, and I use a lot of his tactics in my site builds. So definitely check it out if you have any questions about building sites. That's where you should go. So start cloning your sites. So the second week is all about cloning your sites, updating the content, and getting ready to start ranking them. So as you can see, clone your first site, update copy, and it just goes on and repeat. By the end of the week, you should be a pro at this, and you should be able to map out a plan of action for a virtual assistant to start helping you. Also keep that in the back of your mind for your first month. Anything that you do that's repeatable, or data entry, anything like that, make sure that you document it so that you can leverage your time spent on that with somebody to help you. So after you built out your 5 sites, add them to a rank tracker. So there's lots of affordable rank trackers out there. I use CertFox. It's pretty cheap. It works great. It does what I need. So that's what I've stuck with. But definitely rank your site so that you can see your results and see if you do make any changes to your site, or as you build citations and backlinks to your site, you can see the results of that and how it's impacting your site. So after the first week and you have all of your sites built out, go ahead and order some citations for all your sites. And this also comes into play. If you have a budget, citations and PPNs, they can get a little bit expensive. So it's really good to start with a few domains instead of many, just because then you can really focus your efforts on, say, 5 domains. You can really use your whole budget on 5 domains easily for, citations and PBNs and any backlinks like that. So at least you can see the full result of a really good, really well optimized site that includes the citations for your Google My Business listings, and then also any PBNs that you buy and point to it. So on the 3rd week, we're going to start prospecting. And so this is just a cycle I use. And the 3rd week, we're going to start scraping emails for prospects. And then just go through and do 1 city a day. You don't have to burn yourself out. Maybe you want to spend all Sundays scraping emails. That's great. If you don't have time like that, wake up before work and start scraping some emails, or get an email scraping software and just let it run during the day or during the night. But you really only need to do 1 city a day. I mean, remember, we're not trying to burn ourselves out on this. We're trying just to slow and steady, keep the motivation, and really be effective. So consistency is key here. So by the end of the 3rd week, you should have all of your cities, all the emails for each city scraped, and then that's when we start loading them up into the Aweber, into your Aweber account, and creating the email sequence, which we also have email sequences in PPL Army that are great. I know that Brian has some in there, and then I created a few videos and documentation on what I do for my partner getting and email sequences. So by the end of the 3rd week, we should be ready to rock and roll and start blasting out some emails and getting some partners. So here's the 4th week, claim GMB listings for all sites. So by the 4th week, our citations for our website should be ready, and we should be receiving those, and they should be up and running and start getting indexed by Google. And this is when you need to start going through and claiming your Google My Business listings. This is really, really important. It's a huge source of traffic, huge source of leads. I can't talk about how important the Google My Business listings are. And if you didn't see the webinar last week, we have a replay of it, of me going through, and then I also have a checklist of Google My Business listings, or how to set those up for free without getting a virtual office or anything like that. That's also in the members area of the PPL Army. So as you can see, guys, you have every single tool that you need in the PPL Army. Like, you have everything at your fingertips. Maybe you're just looking kind of for a game plan, and I hope that this can be the foundation of your game plan. So for the 4th week, you're going to be doing a few things, and that's creating your Google My Business listings, and then also following up and closing any prospects. So you're going to start sending out your first round of emails, second round of emails, and then you're, at the same time, you're going to be setting up any new partners that want to start working with you and agree to start working with you, and probably beg to start working with you. It's not a hard sell at all, so don't be intimidated. It's really good practice. You can see that I do round 1. Every day I have a different round. So round 1, 2, 3, first, second, third day, 4th, 5th day, call follow-ups. And then it's so important on the weekend or during the entire week to get organized with the CRM. You need to start keeping track of all these prospects, where they want leads from, what websites that they go to, or their billing information, their contact information, anytime that you've spoken with them, their phone number, like all of these things. It's so important to start tracking this, and because after you get 5 partners and then you get 5 more and you start scaling this, it can get a little crazy and you're not going to be able to remember all the details. So I also have kind of a list of the different CRMs that I like to use. I do like Pipedrive a lot. I also like Zoho and Basecamp. I've used all of those. I think they're fantastic tools. I use them for different reasons. But just a client relations management tool is so important. So please don't overlook that. The more upfront work that you put into this, the easier it'll be for you. So get organized, add all the partners to CRM, anyone that you need to follow up with, or if you're kind of talking to somebody and then they drop off and then you need to follow up with them and send them an email or a follow-up phone call, just make sure you put it in there so that nothing falls through the cracks, because it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to lose a potential partner just because you're going to have a lot going on. So make sure that you keep notes, you set reminders. Just make sure you do it. I've lost several potential partners in the beginning that could have been amazing partners just because I was not organized. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do that. Make sure you update and organize your CRM. And then on the final week, the Sunday, so this says 5 weeks, but whatever. On the final week, create a partner follow-up list after your first round of emails. So I always like to go through and see, who opened my emails, what is their contact information, go and do some more contacts, gathering, get their correct emails, see how many times they opened it, see what cities they're in, what they might be interested in, and so then you can do some really targeted follow-up calls, some very targeted follow-up emails. Use their names if you can find their names. Just Google them. Google their email. It's not that hard. There's so much information attached to your email. You should be able to find them. Excuse me. So I spend the first weekend after the first week of prospecting, the first weekend I always use to get organized and get ready to launch the last week of prospecting and just go for it. So I just go down the list. I can do my phone calls very quickly. I know what to talk to each person about, and then I can also send them follow-up emails. And if you do this and you work your list and if you work this system, it works. It's just amazing. Like, there's no reason you need to be sending out more than a couple hundred emails for all 5 locations in total, as long as you do some targeted research and your follow-up your follow-ups are on point. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to do mass emails of thousands and thousands of emails. That's if you're doing, you're covering a huge territory, maybe then. But if you're covering 5 different locations for one vertical, you don't need that many emails. You just need to be targeted, know who you're talking to, and definitely know how to, do the follow-ups and carry on a conversation with them. You're going to be golden. So that's the last week. And add partner, then you add the partners to your new sites. Excuse me. Send out welcome emails to your new partners. I always send out, this is who I am. This is kind of set expectations. And you should definitely cover the expectations in your, first conversation with them. Or not first conversation, but probably second or third conversation as you get to know them better and build that relationship. So definitely set the expectations of when they will start receiving leads, how the leads will be handled, how you're going to bill them, the invoicing cycle. Those are some very important points to cover with them. So as long as you set the expectations, you're going to have really happy partners that you're working with. And I can post an example of a welcome email in the PPL Army membership area. It's pretty simple, but yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. And then, add partners to the new sites, make sure that the call tracking numbers are connected and working, do some tests, and then start over the next month. There's my reminder. You can see my reminder. That's great. Go away. Okay. So, rinse, repeat, and scale for the next month. And that's pretty much it. I will make sure that this is up in the membership area. I'm going to take a screenshot of it, and then you can definitely replicate it and add to it. Any feedback you have, I would love to hear from you in the Facebook group. And I hope that this helps you guys, get focused and have an action plan, even broken down day by day, to help you meet your goals. So, all right. Let's see. Is there any questions before I end the Webby? Let's see. There's a few questions coming through. I know that I covered a lot, and this is a topic that we can always expand on next week as well, or I'm going to have a Q&A tomorrow, so we can definitely cover any questions that you have that I didn't get to. So it looks like, oh my gosh, there's tons of, hold on there. All right, so we did the breakdown. Do I outsource content creation? I do now. What I usually do is if I'm in a new vertical, I go and I find some websites in different cities that I'm not targeting, and I go and I get the content and I rewrite it slightly, just enough so that it's unique, and then I use that content on my sites and then clone that content. So it is unique to me. Let's see. Okay, Dave, I'll definitely, Dave asked, please cover how you set up your on-site in a video. So I will make sure that we cover that. How about next week? Or maybe I could put a video together this weekend. I know that I'm working with a few people teaching them how to do that, so I'll just do a video of my site build, and so you guys can see that. But don't forget, Darren does have some really, really amazing site building videos in the membership area. Would I recommend using the same site with lead multiplier? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Lead multiplier is amazing. It just makes sense to use it, so go for it. And then you can just build out city pages. Yeah, Isaiah, great question. Then build out new city pages for each city you enter instead of building each sniper site. So you can approach it 2 different ways. You can absolutely do that with a lead multiplier site. I found that it can be a little difficult doing that with the Google My Business listings. So, but you still absolutely can. Like, take Service Pro or Serve Pro, for example. They do both. So they're a huge lead generation site for home repair and I think water damage, mold damage, that stuff. And they do both. So they have sniper sites, and then they also have large scale kind of lead multiplier sites. So you can test out both. Why not? Why not? Doesn't matter. Just take some action. All right, Dave. Dave asks, are you using the 5 domains in the same general area targeting different keywords or different locations? So when I build out my sniper sites, they're targeting different cities, not the same general area. And that's also another technique. There's so many different ways to approach this, guys. You could get 5 different sites targeting the exact same city and put different content on them and take over the SERPs for that city and vertical. So it's absolutely up to you. I would probably approach that, and I've only done that if I have a partner that is reliable and I know that they can handle the leads, or several partners that are reliable in a city that can handle the leads, and they're asking for more and more and more leads. So definitely, as soon as you establish, a trusting relationship with a partner and you really get along with them, you can ramp up any lead generation in any city by building more sites, more sniper sites out for that city. So it's a really good question. Okay, and then we have Fernando is asking, the content images on all the sites in the same vertical, different cities, is it the same? Yeah, it's exactly the same. Exactly. You just go in and you change the city, the geo modifier on each website. So you're going to go in and change, say I'm targeting Chicago on one site, and then I clone the site, and I move it to Jacksonville, Florida. I'm going to have my VA go in and change the city on any page to Jacksonville and any of the surrounding cities. So I hope that answers your question. It is the same videos, same images. I have them change the alt tags to the correct city at least, and then any of the titles or header tags, anything in the content, I have them change it to the new city, which it really doesn't take that long. I mean, for a new site, maybe an hour to go and update the pages and make sure that everything's been changed. All right, let's see. Do I use a dialer when making outreach calls? Dave, that's a great question. I don't. I don't. I keep it simple. So I'm going to record some calls for you guys, some outreach calls, and so I will probably use some sort of dialer then to record my calls, or an app on my phone, but I don't use a dialer. Just keep it simple. Don't make it too complicated. If you already have a huge sales team, go ahead and get a dialer and invest in that, but don't get too complicated. Fernando, how much do I spend on citations and backlinks per site? It depends on the competition. So I always get like 100 to 200 citations per site. I use WL Marketing or Fiverr, and I order my citations through them. So say probably $50, $60 for citations, and then if I need 3 or 4, sometimes 5 really good backlinks after the citations to a site to get it started and get it ranking. I mean, each PBN or backlink that you buy will probably be between $20 to $30 to set up and get hosting and to buy the domain, and then get it set up. So, and I use a domain reanimator for all of my for my PBN scraping, and they also have the cool Wayback Machine download that you can install really easily to your new sites. So it makes it really, really simple. So yeah, about $50, $60 for citations, and then $30 per PBN. And you don't need all the PBNs all at once. So if you don't have that big of a budget, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. All right, what's the next one? Okay, looks like Austin's asking, so is this all with 1 hour daily or 8 hours of focused work per day here? That's a great question. You can do, I broke it down daily so that you should be able to do this in about an hour. Hour to 2 hours. So it just depends on your learning curve, and you will get faster and faster as as it goes on. There's always a learning curve to anything that you start out doing, but there's no reason that you cannot at least put an hour aside per day to start working on your business. Get up early, stay up late, do whatever you have to do. It's if you want to make it happen, you can. So. You can invest 1 to 2 hours in the morning. That's more than enough time to accomplish each thing on each one of these days. So I hope that answers your question, Austin. All right. Yes, I do have a VA template to share, and I will make sure that I post that in the membership area. Let's see. Thanks, Isaiah. You're awesome. Let's see. There's a lot more questions coming in. I'm going to stay on for 5-10 more minutes, guys, and then I got to jump off, and we can do Q&A tomorrow. No problem. More than happy to do that. All right. Let's see what's the next one. All right, Isaiah, also with the follow-up email after you send out the third email, is there any specific template you would use to continue following up with those prospects? Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to close a prospect within, the first 3 emails and the first follow-up calls. You're going to close each of those cities easily. If you want to get a few more partners in one area, then keep following up with them. There's no right or wrong way to follow up with somebody. I will definitely try. I will put up, I think I already have my email templates in PPL Army for you guys to view, but I will make sure that they're in there. And then also I have kind of examples of responses that I've received and how I answer those questions and how I, kind of qualify a partner. Yeah, I can definitely make sure that I have those templates in there for you guys. So thanks for the question. That's awesome. It's a really good one, because after the first week you should be able to close at least one partner. I mean, if you don't close one partner after really working this and really doing your best effort, making the best effort at it, then we need to talk. And we definitely need to, we can definitely improve your sales skills maybe, or there's really, you're not even going to have to sell anything. They're going to ask you to work with them. So as long as you put in the effort and you just follow the daily tasks, it's going to come easy for you. But I do have email templates in the back end of the Army. All right. Stephanie. Okay, John asks, am I using Lead Gadget extensively? Lead Gadget? No, I'm not using Lead Gadget. Not at all right now. I do know some people that use Lead Gadget, and it's very successful for them to drive leads. The way that I use my sites, I build them out a little differently, and so Lead Gadget's a great platform, great software. I know that people have a lot of success with it. I have not taken the dive into Lead Gadget yet, so I'm thinking about testing it out. I do use SERP Shaker, which is similar to Lead Gadget, it's just a plugin for a WordPress site, and it still works great for me. I use it on all of my sites. So yeah, we can discuss that more in the group. That's a really good question. So you're probably interested in diving into Lead Gadget, huh, John? Yeah, I have only good things to say about them. I mean, they did a great job building that, and I've had other people have really good experiences with it. So, all right, who's next? Let's see. Pete. Yes, yes, awesome. All right, guys, I think we're running into the end of the hour, so if you have any last minute questions, throw it in here, or else I will be on Facebook Live Q&A tomorrow, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Um, I'm going to make sure that I post this calendar and daily task into the back end of the PPL Army, and then anything else that just throw some questions in the group. I'm more than happy to answer them. You guys are great. I cannot believe the turnout for this. This has just been fantastic. So, all right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you learned some stuff. I will stick around in the Facebook group for the next 10-15 minutes and answer any questions that I missed, and then catch me tomorrow night on the Facebook Live Q&A. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.